Hey folks, it's me Chris, and I wanted to take a few seconds of your time to talk about this awesome new opportunity that we've been presented with for all of our lovely listeners. We can now offer you all a 1-month free trial from audible.com, allowing you full access to a vast library of audiobooks to choose from. As I mentioned earlier, the trial is completely free, and all you have to do is visit audibletrial.com/GHS and follow the instructions to sign up for a free membership today. We hope you guys enjoy Audible just as much as we do, and thanks for your time. But yeah, I guess on that note, we'll move on with the show into our nerd news stuff. A lot of great gaming stuff that happened this week. A lot of great movie stuff that happened, and we're going to go over that right now. Adnan, I'm going to take the first piece, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, go for it.
I was very adamant on doing this. Last week on the 20th, Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, of course, wrote a blog post on Xbox Wire that was titled Achievement Unlocked 10 Years, Thank You Xbox 360. And basically, to make a long story short, the Xbox 360 is closing shop, everybody. Microsoft announced that it is going to cease production of Xbox 360 consoles. So they will no longer be making consoles anymore at this point going forward. It's only going to be Xbox One. They did say that they are going to continue, like Xbox Live is going to continue to, run on the system. You could use multiplayer, parties, all the apps, everything, your games of gold, deals of gold, all that's still going to be on 360. What's it called? You're still going to be able to buy the games and accessories at retail and, through the Xbox 360 store online while supplies last, they say. It's still going to receive support on Xbox.com, and, there's still going to be backwards compatibility being made available on Xbox One. So 360 is not 100% dead, but it's gone, man. I mean, it's pretty much, it's over. Like, when you cease production of a console, effectively the console is dead, because that's it. If they're not going to produce any more, things for the console, I highly doubt developers are going to make games for it, and therein means the console is dead. So, I won't get into it too much, or rather, we won't get into it too much because we have a show to do, and we could be here for hours with this topic. But I do invite you guys to check out. We did a show back in November of last year, Gamer Headline Show. It was in November, and it was on 10 years of Xbox 360 when we celebrated the 10-year anniversary of the console. And Adam and I shared some memories, that we had. My pizza stain box and all that. So if you guys want to check that out, please do. It's a nice fitting end. But yeah, man, so it's done, man. 360's out the door, dude.
Yeah. End of an era in terms of productions. I mean, like, the console's still going to live in terms of people playing it. There's a lot of games on there, and a huge fan base. I know people are still playing Gears 1 on there, even though you can get it on Xbox One, but it's still the kind of the nostalgic appeal of playing the game on a console. But what a roller coaster ride it's been for Xbox 360. 10 years, high moments, low moments, points where Microsoft really regret things, but definitely something that to talk about this as well, and kind of just a sense of like how much has actually been done and how many games, because it's a really detailed post. If you go and read it's in the Xbox Wire. It's on the Xbox Wire. It's like a post where he talks about how many hours people put in the achievements unlocked. XYZ.
What was it? It was like 30 million hours, right?
Yeah, it's like ridiculously big. The amount of time people have actually put into it. But yeah, like definitely something to read on.
To salute.
Salute to our brothers in arms.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. That actually kind of got me a bit.
As I pour the Xbox 360 ashes into the ocean.
Dude, that got me a bit because I love that line so much. To our brothers in arms. Great. Like, it's so well done. Oh god.
It's great. But okay.
Looking to the future.
Stay away from Metal Gear Solid 5 because we'll be there forever. Right. So the next news comes in from a very, very interesting. It's a huge part of Uncharted now in our news segment. So let me run you through the first two stories we'll talk about, and then we'll move on to the next ones. So this first story comes out, although not scheduled to release until May 10, 2016, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End is already in the hands of some fans. Video Gamer reports that at least one person has picked up the game from retailer CEX in the UK. Oh dear. with others sharing news on Twitter that Amazon too has dispatched 2 weeks ahead of the street date. MCV also reports unconfirmed assertions of early deliveries in Germany and North America, with auctions already showing up on eBay. So one gamer reports, and I quote, "I went into CEX, and when I went to the counter to purchase the lens, I saw behind the shop assistant that there was Uncharted 4. So as a try, it said I also get a copy of Uncharted 4. He just picked it up and rang it through the till. The game cost 55 quid. An early copy of Uncharted 4 images in the article, and players who have already fired up the game report that the multiplayer is not yet available, the DLC code cannot be redeemed, and trophies cannot be synced, but the single-player campaign runs without issues." So yeah, in the actual thing, I feel sorry for the clerk who probably sold it.
There is also, dude, an update about Amazon. Which, it was completely false, by the way. The Amazon thing.
Yeah, Amazon's not selling it. So basically that's the update. So that Amazon's not selling it. It's just that CX has actually sold a copy of it.
Yeah. It happened that happened to me. I got the email of because I went to my Amazon account and it said, "Yeah, man, it shipped." And I'm like, "No, it didn't." And they're like, "Yeah, it did." I'm like, "Holy shit, it shipped." And then an hour later, Amazon sent emails to everyone saying it did not ship. It's coming out in May. Don't sue us. You can cancel your order if you're pissed. Shit like that. So that was a bummer.
Yeah, it's interesting though as well. But the fact is, I feel bad for the retailer who probably sold it. The clerk who's probably not a gamer, and they probably just thought, you know what, it's probably just a game. Why is it on the back of the shelf anyway like that? Because I know that gaming shops aren't allowed to put them on the fucking
on the floor. No,
the floor. And you've worked in a game shop as well, so it's kind of thing. You cannot keep them on there. You can only play promotional material and everything else. So I don't know why this game was actually on the shelf and this person. So it probably is unintentional. The person's obviously gonna get a lot of fucking shit for it as well.
He might get fired.
Yeah, and I mean that person's gonna lose their fucking job because of it. But I don't think they intentionally sold it for that kind of purpose. But anyway, this moves on to the next piece of news. So we're moving on to the PS blog. And we got a message from Shuhei Yoshida, president of Worldwide Studio Sony. He said, and I quote, "We have some unfortunate news to report that a number of copies of Uncharted 4: A Thief's End were stolen while in transit. While we are continuing to work with the police to resolve the matter, which is the subject of an ongoing criminal investigation, it appears that a few copies of the game have surfaced in the UK. We know that many of you have been looking forward with great anticipation and excitement to the latest masterpiece from Naughty Dog. From what I played of Nathan Drake's latest adventure, I can tell you that it's very much worth the wait. As with most Naughty Dog games, the unfolding story is such an integral part of the experience, and for this reason we wanted to warn you to beware of the potential for spoilers to be posted by people with access to stolen copies of the game. An extremely talented team has worked long and hard to bring Nathan Drake's greatest adventure to life, and we would urge you to help us prevent this from not being spoiled by not purchasing copies of the game ahead of the launch date. Please rest assured we will be very vigilant to protect you from this as far as we know, so you can enjoy Uncharted 4's experience to its fullest on May 10th. End quote. Ooh. So two news is going hand in hand. Big news on the scale in a massive field of news that we've had that's come out this week. That Uncharted 4 has leaked. In terms of people have actually got their hands on it. I haven't run into
a thief's. Sorry, I was going to say it's ironic. A thief's end, theft.
It is very ironic. The only thing that could have made it even more ironic is if Troy Baker has one of these copies and stole it from the shop. That would be
they cut that fucking scene out. I stole this game. I led my army, and we got it. The Baker boys on our motorcycles.
The Baker boys.
With a Z at the end, because
no, but it's very surprising. It's kind of disheartening. It's very bizarre. It's going to a criminal investigation that these copies were stolen whilst heading to retail stores. from what I know, I can't remember really a game happening this kind of scale, that kind
No.
of a kind of like a false lapse in security breach for something to happen. But nonetheless, I feel like we would also advise that people stay away from the internet and like kind of like not have Uncharted 4 spoil, because it is probably one of the biggest games of like in a decade. Even though I've said
Oh,
that times about every game, it's one of those games where
hands
you don't want
down.
to go into a game and like get it ruined. So I remember what happened when I was really excited for Beyond Two Souls, and then some dickhead in the comment section ruined it
Uh,
the day before I played it, and they told me the big twist, and I was like, right. Why? What satisfaction have you got from posting that? I think someone did the same with Star Wars once as well. They got an
yeah.
early game and they showed the big, like a massive twist. And I'm like, why? Why do you want to be a dickhead? Like, I mean, like, what satisfaction have you got from posting something like? Because you've ruined it yourself for yourself, and you want to ruin it for other people. But
Yeah,
uh,
people are just assholes, man.
yeah. But Chris, I'll let you take this
Yeah,
next piece. Well, the next
sure.
two pieces. We'll continue on the Uncharted
Yes,
train.
the Uncharted, the Brigade, man. I mean, it really has been a crap ton of news that's been coming out. So the next piece of news, or next two pieces, continuing the Uncharted stuff. So Uncharted 4's marketing campaign is being touted by Sony, or toted. I don't know how you say that word. As PlayStation's
Tutor?
largest. Tooted? Touted? I don't know. I guess it's like
Yeah.
potato. I don't know. But anyway, it's being stated by Sony to be their largest marketing campaign ever for PlayStation. And what's it called? It says here Uncharted 4 is receiving PlayStation's largest ever software marketing campaign, Sony UK has said, with hordes of digital, print, and TV adverts planned alongside innovative in-store marketing that will see Drake, quote unquote, swinging from a real rope. Okay, that's awesome. I don't know how that works, but that's fucking awesome. What is it? PlayStation's biggest ever array of innovative POS, which is point of sale, is promised to hit stores in the run up to the game's release, including pallets with Nathan swinging from a real rope, treasure chest cubes, standout freestanding display units, window vinyls, and more. And then there's a couple of images and stuff of all this stuff, and it looks cool, man. I mean, it really makes it look like a big event. Like this marketing material looks really fucking cool. There's like a big, like almost like an entranceway. It looks that's themed to Uncharted, and there's the typical standee and like all this other stuff. It looks great, man. And then this was last year. Shuhei Yoshida was asked this question, but he said, "People have asked me why it wasn't." This is as per the criticism of Until Dawn, which a lot of people thought wasn't marketed well at
Mhm.
all. And Shuhei Yoshida said this on that. People have asked me why it wasn't marketed as much as other titles. It's a decision made by marketing departments in each region because the focus on this Christmas time frame to really support the big third-party titles like Destiny and these titles, they didn't see the need to push Until Dawn that much from the platform marketing standpoint. I think everybody was caught surprised by the positive reaction. So it looks like they're not doing that with Uncharted 4, because holy shit, it's pretty big. Um,
Mm.
and I definitely recommend you guys check out the photo of the marketing campaign. It's crazy. And then the second piece of news to kind of piggyback on this is that so it's been reported that Uncharted 4 will receive, as most games do nowadays, a day one patch that will be 5 gigabytes large. So apparently, according to All Games Delta on Twitter, they shared a screenshot of what could be the update history of Uncharted 4 version 1.01. And reportedly, it's going to contain the 5 gigabytes is going to contain various bonus features, some of which actually look quite essential, such as gameplay modes and weapon selector. Also listed is multiplayer support, a single-player encounter select menu, and general bug fixes. So yeah, I mean, the screenshot obviously, and the article goes on to say it's unconfirmed, but it looks pretty legit from what it's, coming out to be. So it could be that. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not too surprised about the 5 gigabyte thing. That happens a lot with games, especially if various bonus features are being added. I think past games have had a lot of bonus features, haven't they? Like behind the scenes and stuff like that on it. So that's like a lot of HD videos being added, and bug fixes and all that. It's common nowadays, especially for something like Uncharted.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really mind that kind of stuff, but it's so annoying though because you have to
Yeah,
pre-install the game anyway, and it's loaded. Then a massive patch comes in to
yeah,
adjust things to the point where you can't. Like that patch sometimes is mandatory to the point where you can't play the game,
yeah,
and it's like it's irritating for that reason. Because it's like, why is this happening for a game that's brand new? Do you remember the like days when you had a PS2 and the game was on the fucking disc and that was about it? Like you
yeah.
can't patch it. If you sent out a broken game, you sent out a broken game. No fucking U-turns or anything else on it. Uncharted or not Uncharted, like it's becoming a little bit of a ridiculous trend. Like, 6, 16, 15, 25 gigabyte patch, 5 gigabytes. Like, I'm obviously over exaggerating, but the point is, like, it's ridiculous that, like, have to deal with patches. Um, but it also kind of says something about the sheer scale of the game and how many issues they probably had. Like, this has been through, as I've said, like, multiple times in this podcast, like, development hell in terms of, like, how long it's been in development, how they've gone from, like, from point A back to point B, then back to
Right.
point Z, and then A, and it keeps going. The vicious circles continue. So there
Yeah.
has been a lot to it, and it's just very interesting to see in terms of like that patch what it's saying and like what the kind of additions are and what they're trying to address, and then also the marketing campaign. Because I said to Chris off podcast, like I was at work and there's a bus that drove past and Uncharted. I went running up to the window because I saw the Uncharted banner on it. I was like, "Ooh, this is kind of like interesting that they've started to marketing it now." And that was last week as well. I think I saw that bus.
That's so cool.
But
I haven't
like,
seen that yet, sadly.
yeah, I saw that, so I was like, you know what, I'll have a look. But it's kind of like it is going to be extensive though. So Sony are really going to ride it now,
Yeah.
in terms of like getting Uncharted 4 out there because it is the biggest launch of an exclusive so far by far of any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, this game is huge, and that's like an understatement to say that. I mean, it's ginormous, man. This is like a big game that's everyone's ready for and we're all excited for. I say bring it on, man. I love stuff like this. I love it when, everybody gets hyped when they start doing stuff like that. It gets you so excited for what is I have to imagine is going to be a fun game. Like even if, like it doesn't live up to the hype, like there's going to be moments where you're like, "Oh man, this was so fun to play." So
Yeah,
I'm so down, dude. Like I'm seriously like excited for it. It's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be a fun, thing to do.
yeah.
Um,
Let's see. I will take this next piece, Chris.
oh,
Anyway,
dude, go
um,
for it.
so the Gears of War 4 season pass costs $39.99. Microsoft has confirmed that's just £4 cheaper than the game itself costs from the likes of Amazon. So, what do you get from the hard-earned cash? Microsoft said the season pass includes the exclusive Vintage VIP pack, which features Vintage JD and 2 Vintage weapon skins. You also get permanent access to 24 additional DLC maps, two per month for a year for private play on dedicated servers. Gears of War, remember, does something interesting with its maps. The game comes with 10 maps, and all DLC maps are free, but they're rotated in and out of public matchmaking, like free-to-play champions are rotated in and out of League of Legends. However, if you want to play one of the rotation maps whenever you want, you can buy it in the real world with money and host a private game. Those you invite do not need to have the map to play it. So adding on to that, basically the season pass gets you access to every map. This is very interesting. The season pass also includes an exclusive developer playlist that grants access to new modes, maps, and features that can be tested before release, and 6 gear packs. These gear packs unlock weapon skins and character skins, emblems, equipment, and boosts. Again, there's more on how these packs work as well in multiple previews. So hold on, there's something else here. Right, so and also there's the Ultimate Edition that's been announced by Microsoft and the Coalition. It costs $79.99, includes Gears of War 4, the Season Pass, a Steelbook, and early access to the game on Friday, 7th of October. That's 4 days before it launches on Tuesday, 11th of October. Saying that, they're going to have to send the review copies out earlier, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, shit, it's
Unless they just let people, maybe.
yeah. Well, by the way, let me go back. Vintage JD, Marcus's son. What is it going to be him as a kid? Like running around like his kid JD, like
And a bottle of Jack Daniels.
like I don't get it. How does that work? Like what would make him vintage? Like that doesn't make sense. That implies a
Well, it's
younger
like,
or
it's like the Gears unlock in Gears 4 where you get Vintage Kate.
what and what is what she's like I
Is
didn't
she?
see that.
Let me have a look. The show pictured you when you load up the menu screen. She has like
Oh.
kind of like I think she has regular kind of clothes on with like
Oh, so probably
so like
pre-war or something.
it's kind of pre-war with the cog armor. It's kind of like vintage in the sense of like the weapons look kind of gold as well. I'm looking at
Oh, okay. So,
um vintage is a weird. Yeah, I agree with you. Vintage is a very weird word to use. This carries on with like I remember we were talking about the Battlefront season pass, which is the same price as this one.
right.
This season pass is ridiculous, and I'm someone who's buying Gears of War 4, but this is ridiculously what it's giving you because basically the 24 maps you get access to at different points. So basically, they're going to bring them in and out of rotation every month. So even if you don't buy them, you get to play them.
Right.
And all you actually get of it is if you want to host private servers. And I think the developer thing's cool. The exclusive developer playlist where you get to play modes.
This is more, right? 24 maps in Gears 4. That's more than what Battlefront is offering, right?
Yeah,
How
so
many-
that's on top of the 10 you get as well.
Right,
That's,
right.
that's, so it'll be 34 maps in total, which I think may be a bit too much.
Yeah, that seems kind of like holy shit. You know, there's gonna
Yeah,
be
well-
one that but shit.
But as I've said though, because they're rotating the maps,
Yeah,
so it'll be those things where it's not 24 maps you go through, it'll be probably like 12 at a time.
yeah,
You keep playing between those, and the developer playlist as well, which is a cool and neat idea where you can play things early. But I think that's probably the main incentive to actually buy a season pass. But 40 quid though, that's extortionate though. And I think like season passes are getting out of fucking control of like
They
the
are.
back season pass and like this one. This is not worth £40 at
No.
all.
yeah.
I'd gladly pay £20 for it just to get the extra stuff, but £40, man. Ugh.
It's
I think it's the same
yeah.
with the Ultimate Edition though. The Gears of War 4 Ultimate Edition. Like the only thing that's worth in that is to get the game early. You get the game 4 days early, and it's just cost 30 quid extra.
Yeah, you're basically bribing Microsoft. Come on, let me
Yeah,
get it a little early.
It includes the season pass. It's 80 quid. It includes the season pass. It includes Gears of War 4 Steelbook and early access to the game.
Mhm.
4 days. So it's kind of like you're paying 40 quid to get the season pass included. Say that the Ultimate Edition's worth the price though, because you're paying effectively the season pass and Gears of War 4, but you also get a Steelbook and early access to the game 4 days prior to its launch.
Yeah,
So it's not too bad, but I think the server thing, I think the probably main thing is about the servers that being available 4 days before launch. That'll be an issue, depending on how many people buy the Ultimate Edition. But nonetheless, very, very bizarre to see a season pass like this. There's nothing out of the blue like we've ever expected before.
yeah.
My sarcasm will end there.
Dude, season passes are just. I mean, I really think it's just a way to kind of like for developers to get a little extra money because I mean these games are so fucking expensive to make that they're trying to like meet on other areas, I guess. But yeah, I'll probably pass on it only because I'm not a huge multiplayer fan. Obviously, I know some people are, and I could see why they'd want to get this. But if I'm not getting the season pass for Star Wars, I'm not getting the season pass for this.
Yeah, it's a really you have to really buy a few times to kind of like justify a price list, isn't it? Yeah,
It's
As you
almost
said,
another game,
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's the same price as another game. So it's like, why would you even pay for something like this? And the kind of the incentives they give you really aren't worth it.
Yeah.
There's no I feel like it's no single player campaign editions or anything else. It's a little bit like it leaves a lot to be desired.
Exactly. Yeah.
But okay, I will take the next piece. Chris, you can have the last one. But
For sure.
very, very interesting news, and I fought my corner to have this included in this podcast as well. Thinking. So yesterday, a photo of a Target reservation card supposedly revealed a remaster of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare to accompany next year's Call of Duty, which is supposedly called Infinity War. Infinity War. Why am I saying Infinity War? Infinite War. It's Infinity War. Yeah, Infinite War, sorry. Activision has since confirmed the rumor in the medium of emoji. So basically, someone asked on Twitter the Call of Duty account, and they sent a picture of poop back in emoji. You have a look at the actual photo. It's basically saying, "I'll crap my pants in excitement for it," and then they basically sent him two emojis with a pair of trousers and a shirt. This is very interesting news because I feel like I would actually just buy this just to get Call of Duty 4. I don't want to play Infinite War. I don't give a shit about that. The futuristic Call of Duty is a shit. But also, I feel like it's very interesting because Activision said they're not even in the idea of doing remasters in like the last couple of interviews when people have asked them. And Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2 are fucking on the highest list of people wanting something to be remastered to play
Mhm.
endlessly. So like, that would take over my life, Call of Duty 4 and fucking Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Along with Gears of War 4, my life would be gone. But it's just very interesting though that they do this, because I feel like, yeah, you'd get sales from it and everything else, but it's more detrimental to next year's Call of Duty than anything, because you'll lose half the people. I think more people will probably be inclined to play Call of Duty 4 than Infinite War. So for me, that's kind of like that thing where I'm like, what?
It is, yeah. It's like, why now? You know, like, why
Yeah,
not?
like,
You know,
yeah, it's like there's something just there. Like, I feel like if they were gonna, the time for releasing a Call of Duty 4 remastered would be a point where they have like a Ubisoft kind of epiphany where they're like, you know what, we'll take a year out of the, out of the space.
right?
And in that meantime, we'll release a remaster, just like what Coalition did. You know what? Get ready for Gears of War 4. Let's pull out the Ultimate Edition, play on nostalgia, pull on the heartstrings, give some
Yeah,
people a Gears of War experience on Xbox One, show what we're capable of. And you know what? I've had Gears of War Ultimate Edition. I'm fucking hyped for Gears of War 4, and I'm still going to keep playing it because it's a great job of what they've done with it. But it's that kind of thing where it's like, the timing is right. This doesn't feel like there's no good timing, because I feel like I have no interest in Call of Duty except for the old ones. And for Call of Duty 4, which I think like is a catalyst and a game changer in the first person shooter genre, just in the sense of how it's made it commercially the most important thing where everyone every year would go and talk about it, and just like, it's Call of Duty, blah blah blah, and like, it's just one of those shooters, but it did set a massive milestone for what it was doing. It's just really really interesting to see if Call of Duty 4 remaster is the next step.
yeah.
Like, is it right Simon to do something like this?
Yeah, it's a for sure it's an odd choice, like without a doubt. And I mean, I don't know, dude. It's kind of like, remember when like, I feel if you're gonna include a copy of Call of Duty 4 with, Infinite Warfare or whatever the hell they're doing, I don't know. Like, or if even if you were gonna release these two games at the same time, like, I feel like the only way you can get away with that is doing something like what Fallout did, where they just, oh yeah, here's a copy of Fallout 3. You know what I mean? Just because. Like, that's fine.
Yeah,
I get that because it's just the original copy, backwards compatible on Xbox One. Like, that makes sense. But yeah, no, I agree with you, dude. I really think that, like, it would make more sense to like spread it out, to release this like a year before. Well, the thing is, Call of Duties are yearly releases, so I guess the closest thing you could do is release it like in August, or not in August, but like in the summer. Like, this would be a great June release, because it's
yeah,
like, the summer is always the dry spell where nothing fucking comes out. So you'd be releasing this, it'd be remastered, it would get people hyped, and then bam, in Infinity Warfare comes out, and then you have like a new thing or whatever. So yeah, it's a real weird choice. I mean, obviously at E3 we'll probably get more information, it looks like.
yeah,
Judging by their pooping your pants like type stuff.
yeah. It's good. It'll be on the Microsoft stage.
Yeah, without a doubt. So yeah, Microsoft, or well, it kind of jumps now, right? Because like PS4 is a bigger install base, so it could be. Well, no, they have the deal with Microsoft though, right? Yeah, Destiny's with
Yeah, I think
PS4, and yeah, you're right. So it'll be on Microsoft stage more than likely.
traditionally
Yeah.
Microsoft.
But yeah, dude, I mean, it's great for the Call of Duty people. And like you said, Modern Warfare. I mean, dude, I remember, I think I worked at GameStop when that game came out, and like everybody would not shut up about it. Like, I didn't play
Yeah,
it,
I
but,
remember. I was in high school. I remember people going home and like I was the only person playing Rainbow Six on my Xbox 360 friends list, and everyone else was playing Call of Duty 4 and fucking Shipment or like some other map. Like, it was the biggest game of the year. It still is got a massive fan base. And putting on next gen would be like it would sell so many copies. I think they should just release it on its own. Then put it. I think it's supposedly in the rumors it included free within Infinite War.
Mhm.
Um, which is probably just an incentive to sell up Infinite War. But I'd probably just buy it and throw the disc away for Infinite War and just play COD 4. Like, but yeah, nonetheless, very very interesting news. See what happens in the next couple of weeks and months. Anything interesting developments, we'll keep you posted.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but cool, man. Very cool news. Do you want this next one, dude? Oh
I'll
no,
leave
it's
it.
me. Yeah. I forgot. Yeah, we got this all planned. See. Okay, so pretty big news that's came out. So Sony's game division reports have came up. and basically hardware, software, network revenues. I mean, it's good, guys. Like, Sony basically released, their third financial year since the consoles, since let me start all over again. PlayStation 4 sales have continued to accelerate during the third financial year since the console released in 2013, Sony has revealed. For the 12 months between March 2015 and April of this year, Sony sold about 18 million PS4s. This figure shows that despite the PS4's strong start on the market, sales are in fact speeding up. In fiscal year 14, so this is 2014, which was cited as a very strong 12-month period for PlayStation 3, the division shipped, not the game, but the company shipped some 15 million PS4s. So yeah, total PS4 sales are now above 40 million units, Sony says. By comparison, PS3 had sold more than 80 million units as of November 2013, 7 years after its launch. So 7 years after PS3's launch, it made 80 million. PS4 is already at 40 million in only 3 years. That's crazy. They also talked about that the PlayStation division brought in revenues of $819 million for this fiscal year. They said there's an increase about 12% in the PlayStation division in general. And it says here, this is very interesting. It says here that so the PS4 software, including those through PlayStation Network, also increased, and the reduction of PS4 hardware manufacturing costs and the elimination of Vita losses are cited as key contributors to the stronger performance. So overall, Sony Corporation as a whole made $75 billion in sales, which is down 1.3% over the same 12-year period last year. However, it reported at $2.7 billion, which is up 330% over the previous year. Profit, was $2.7 million, so that's up way more than last year. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Adnan, it kind of makes you wonder. It'd be a real shame if Sony would ruin this by releasing a PS4.5, don't you think?
It does. It does. It also makes you wonder if President Obama has a PS4 as well, and he's part of the 40 million.
I like my PS4. That's my Obama. I suck at it, but that's my.
I think that sounded more like Bernie Sanders, but like,
I like it. I kind of sound like a
that's
tame.
That's actually quite good.
It's a tame Jack Nicholson. I gotta tell you, you're my number one guy, Jack. But amazing sales, man. Like, this is nutso on Sony's part.
Yeah, like, just taking into consideration 40 million, 3 years. That's not including what Uncharted is going to probably sell, maybe 1 million on its own in terms of like console bundles and everything else.
Yeah.
And like, it's outpacing PS3 at a ridiculous pace. I think it's still outpacing PS2, which is the best-selling console of all time. As console gaming died, not a chance. But this does kind of link a lot to what PS4.5 really is, because if it is a new console, it's really going to be damaging to sales because it's not really helping. Why release another kind of like develop another console when this console is selling at a pace where revenue is going to keep increasing? Because when people have the software I think the report doesn't say, but like that what they made from PSN was effectively the same amount as, well, more than what Nintendo made in its fiscal report. It's ridiculous in terms of like how the big magnitude of what PlayStation is as an entity.
Yeah,
it's pretty much the flagship thing of Sony right now, because like games industry is not dying; it's thriving. It's got so much appeal behind it. Studios close, yes, but also that the huge amount of studios that spring up is just like its place aren't really that surprising.
Right.
But like just seeing what was actually being sold and like the revenue and everything else, PS4 could reach huge heights in the next couple of years. It'll easily surpass 40 million. So because we haven't really got full-on Xbox statistics either. At the minute, though, from what we can tell, it's probably outselling Xbox at just about 2-1. Maybe.
I would say, yeah.
I'd probably say it is hitting it because we don't really have full things from Microsoft, but I think it is outselling it 2-1, which is unreal. But it kind of says of what Sony did take advantage of. Like, it really, that E3 was a springboard where, they completely tore Microsoft and no one
Yeah.
for what it was doing in time, changing in an industry which isn't ready to change, and people won't let it change in terms of like because the people want what they want. And obviously Nintendo dropping out the scene here and there. It's kind of like it has carved open a path for Sony just to literally trailblaze down.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
so
even more so than the PS2's era, because even in the PS2's time frame, there were still people were trying, like the GameCube was trying. I mean, fuck, GameCube had Resident Evil as an exclusive for fuck's sake, and the same thing with Xbox. They were releasing Xbox Live and stuff like that. So even back then, there was like a lot of hard work, and PS2 blazed through all that. And now, like I think Sony's in a stronger position in the console market this generation, even more so than they were during PS2. So I'd be very curious to see what everything's like when this generation of consoles is over.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, really great news for Sony. Very happy for that. I mean, I don't really consider myself a fanboy, but I really like Sony. I like them a lot. I have a lot of great memories with those consoles, and it's always nice to hear or see that they're doing better.
Yeah.
But anyway, on that note, we'll go ahead and jump into our movie news. Before we go into our final segment, we have 3 pieces of news. Adnan, do you want to take this first one, or do you want me to take it away?
I'll let you take the movie one.
Sweet, okay. So, big news, Sony Pictures has officially announced that Iron Man himself, Robert Downey Jr., is set to appear in the upcoming Spider-Man Homecoming as Tony Stark, a.k.a. Iron Man. So, as you all know, actually comes out... Shit, I think for you, Adnan, it comes out this weekend. For me, it's next month. Yeah, but...
Well, the weekend. I'll be filling your thingy with spoilers, Chris.
Just trolling me for a whole week. These 2 characters, Spider-Man and Iron Man, obviously are going to appear in Captain America Civil War, which is coming out very soon. But their relationship is going to be further expanded now in Spider-Man Homecoming, which actually comes out next year. So, this is something that, we've known, or not known for a while, but I remember when Sony first made the deal with Marvel and they released that joint statement together, if you guys remember, they both said, the deal was that Spider-Man is now part of the MCU. And so any character from the MCU can appear in a Sony-produced Spider-Man movie, and vis-a-vis. Spider-Man can appear in a Disney Marvel-produced film. And I think it's great that they're doing this. I mean, they have him appearing now in Civil War, so it's going to cement his place in the MCU. Everyone's going to know who the Spider-Man is and all that. And then, bam, next year he's going to have his own movie, and fucking Tony Stark's going to be in it. So again, further cementing it. This is great, man. I was so happy when they first made the announcement. I am still so happy with this. And early buzz, dude, is that Tom Holland is the shit. Like, I've read some stuff, and everyone's saying that he really is knocking it out of the ballpark as Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Yeah, very exciting times for Spider-Man being in the MCU, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, poor Andrew Garfield.
Dude, he really got, like, the sharp end of the stick. That poor guy. He was even saying, like, I am proposing to Marvel that they come join us. And then they did, and they kicked him to the curb, man. That's so sad.
Yeah, it is. Probably in the room with David Hayter somewhere, like.
Dude, they did. They fucked him over. Damn.
I'm not surprised this has come though with like Robert Downey Jr. This guy is just like, I loved Robert Downey Jr., but he chats out of his fucking arse. Because I've just read another article as well a couple of hours ago where it says that he's open to doing another Iron Man movie, and I'm like, this guy is so fucking full of it. The fact that he just wants to get more money from like more fucking over extortionate price to get another Iron Man movie out, which are like already pretty like dire films anyway. In that entire like, in the phase films, the separate films, they're not really that good at all.
Right.
So I'm not really surprised they did that. And obviously, I think if they're going to really sell the Spider movie, they do want to get Robert Downey Jr.'s star appeal and everything else, kind of like market behind and whatever else. But to be honest, I don't think that we really miss him if he wasn't in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man's so big that he really can, stand on his own. I really think, dude, this is more of a deal to really cement. Because look, they want people not to be confused. They want people to know. Look, we know Andrew Garfield was Batman. Wow, was Spider-Man 2 years ago. I'm Batman. We know he would be a terrible Batman. Side note,
He
but
would be a terrible man, yeah.
it's just not what I imagined. But what's it called? They this is to me. They want people to know. Look, they're making him appear in Civil War to tell the MCU fanboys, look, Spider-Man's there. And then they're putting Iron Man in Homecoming to tell the Sony Spider-Man fanboys, hey, look, he's part of the MCU. That's all this is. And I'm sure it's going to be great. It's going to be so fucking great to see them interact. It's going to be the same... Dude, to me, I think it's going to be the same level of hype of, Mr. Stark, Captain. That scene where they first meet in the Avengers. That was such a great scene, because you're seeing these two guys meet for the first time, and you're just like, oh my god, we know it's all connected, but they're standing next to each other. Oh
Yeah.
it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be really hype, and good for them, man, because there's a certain fatigue that's coming up with these films, and you gotta raise that fatigue as much as you can, or lower it rather, I guess. All right, well, next piece of news. So pretty big news, guys. DreamWorks Animations has been acquired by NBC Universal. So, NBC Universal, a division of Comcast, today announced the acquisition of DreamWorks Animation. So, the studio will now become a part of the Universal Filmed Entertainment Group, which includes Universal Pictures, Fandango, and the NBC Universal brand development. And then there's a quote from the CEO of NBC Universal. He says, DreamWorks Animation is a great addition to NBC Universal. Jeffrey Katzenberg and the DreamWorks organization have created a dynamic film brand and a deep library of intellectual properties. DreamWorks will help us grow our film, television, theme parks, and consumer products businesses for years to come. We've enjoyed extraordinary success over the last 6 years in animation with the emergence of Illumination Entertainment and its brilliant team at Illumination MacGuff Studio. The prospect for our future together are tremendous. We are fortunate to have Illumination founder Chris Meledandri to help guide the growth of the DreamWorks animation business in the future. So, and by the way, DreamWorks Animation had an equity value of approximately $3.8 billion. Yeah. So that's pretty big, but yeah, so big news, man. It's now under, for you guys to know, DreamWorks Animation, Shrek, Madagascar, Kung Fu Panda, How to Train Your Dragon, all that is, underneath the same roof. So pretty big, man. Pretty big news.
Mm-hmm, definitely. It's mainly for like profit and revenue. That's probably the biggest thing. DreamWorks isn't huge on its scope of like, what has it got? Kung Fu Panda, How to Train Dragon.
Yeah.
How to Train Dragon.
Shrek was huge.
How to Train Dragon. Shrek was huge, but that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Well, as you said, to me off podcast, the main thing is the commercial side in the sense of theme parks and stuff, because Shrek's more relevant in that kind of capacity. Maybe not in movies, but it's still a high profile acquisition, especially for a studio that Spielberg helped found.
Yeah. And it makes sense.
Definitely interesting.
Makes sense it's at Universal because Spielberg has a really tight, they like Universal.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they even operated in their like area, so it's just they now literally own them. So yeah, I think it's great, man. I mean, we'll see.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
But all right, well, on that note, guys, we have one more piece of news, and we'll move on to our final topic of the show. So basically, Mads Mikkelsen has revealed a key character detail in his role for the upcoming Star Wars or Rogue One, a Star Wars story. So basically, I think it was during an appearance on Sky News. Mickelson initially danced around the story of Rogue One before eventually caving in and spilling some delicious, totally not made out of human beings. That's a reference to fucking Hannibal. That he was playing the father of Felicity Jones's character Jyn Erso, the protagonist of Rogue One. So he's her papa, and we know his
Yeah.
name is Galen because supposedly he signed, I think like some dudes like he autographed something for a fan, and he says he always autographs something and then writes the name of his character underneath his autograph, and he wrote Galen underneath it. So apparently his name is Galen Urso, I guess, if it's Jin's dad. Pretty crazy, man. That he's doing it. And there's an original report that was released. And this is the rumor part of this article, but there was a report that claims that Mickelson's character is a scientist that took over the Geonosian Death Star project. He solved several of the flaws the Empire could not, and is sort of a revered person in the Empire for his contributions. However, Mickelson's character is a Robert Oppenheimer type character. The guilt Galen feels for his contributions to the Empire becomes too much, and he defects, attempting to make it right. In order to do this, he enlists the help of his only daughter. So he's like a badass Sokolov.
Yeah, well, thank you, Carl. Sokolov.
I will not condone
They
this.
just zero that.
That's how he talks. But, yeah, so...
By the way, that fucking name's stupid. Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
It's lame. Like, why not just call it
shit.
Star Wars? It was originally
Rogue
Star
One?
Wars...
Star Wars Rogue One?
Yeah, it was originally Star Wars Anthology Rogue One. I thought that was better than Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Either. Yeah, because it's part of the anthology series, so it's not like I think anthology is almost like the episode, so it's going to say anthology in the title of the movie if it's an opening crawl, but they're just crediting it. They're marketing it as Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. It sounds so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it is a bit stupid. But on to Mikkelsen, though. Like, as I said, the Robert Oppenheimer comparison as well of his character is kind of like fitting description. Very excited. This is the only reason I'm very interested in this movie because of Mads Mikkelsen, because I think he's a fucking amazing actor. If you haven't seen Hannibal, please go and fucking watch that movie. That TV series, that fucking TV series needs justice for people watching. Even if it doesn't come back, it just needs people watching it in the general sense. But yeah, definitely like the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about was just like hearing news from Mads Mikkelsen, because I said on the show a couple of weeks ago when we saw the Rogue One trailer, it was like, you know, I was waiting to see Mikkelsen, nothing heard of him, and he's actually dropped quite like, you know, it's a couple of interesting details to take away, and it does kind of change the dynamic as well, the story.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Plus, I'm surprised, man, he's gonna get in deep shit. Because Disney doesn't like that. They're like, "What you do, Mickelson? Haha." You know, it's gonna be like the South Park Mickey Mouse beating him up.
Yeah,
because they don't like that, man. You know, so it's you know, I'm curious if they gave him permission for that, or if it was genuinely a slip up, or you know, or maybe they said, "Yeah, you could say you're the dad. You know, go ahead. You know, fuck it." Like that's not like a major plot point. I'm sure he's not gonna give the report of, you know, "Oh, I'm so and so." You know, what was it like? That he's like the report that came in that they're like, yeah, he's this character and he's that character, and you know, he's not gonna say that. That's gonna be revealed at some big press event or something like they did with what was it, like Force Awakens. But still, you know, great news, man. I like Mikkelsen. I think he's a phenomenal actor. First time I ever saw him was Casino Royale, and he was extraordinary. Great. Oh, dude, that guy fucking was so good in that movie. Love him. Super happy he's a part of the Star Wars universe, and I can't wait, man. That's gonna be, you know, great. His role is he's gonna be, I think, one of the standout roles without a doubt.